Thanks for staying with us. Now, the Special Investigating Unit will be investigating allegations of corruption and maladministration at the Midvaal Municipality and the Eastern Cape Health Department. The Health Department investigation will focus on the contracts for healthcare risk waste management services. The SIU will probe whether the payments were fair and cost-effective. For more, we're joined by SIU spokesperson Kaiser Kganyago. Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it. Perhaps just tell us about these investigations that you're embarking on and what prompted you to investigate further.
Thank you very much. We got some information from a whistleblower, and the whistleblower was basically saying that there are problems in the Midvaal in relation to the issue of the fleet management or tender on the vehicle tracking systems. And then we looked at it and we found that there's something that we can investigate. We sent it through to the president's office, and we found that the proclamation was sent back to us. That is in relation to Midvaal. And the one in the Eastern Cape is a similar one that we were having, like in Limpopo, where there was a problem with the company that was appointed to deal with the waste management in the hospitals, wherein they were saying that there was this company that was appointed and they did not follow the processes that they were supposed to follow. And in that regard, we are now going to be investigating. And waste management means when we are in the hospitals or in clinic, there are syringes and all of those things that needs to be disposed in a specific way. We need to get a company that has got to deal with it, and that is how we got to then be in a position to investigate. Therefore, on Friday, the president signed and gazetted this, and we are now going to start the investigation in the Eastern Cape and in Midvaal.
Without giving too much detail away, Mr. Kganyago, I know it's early stages of your investigation, but do we know how many people at this stage are being investigated and the value of these two investigations? How much are you looking at here that was possibly wasted or not used properly? Are you able to ascertain that at this stage?
Not at this stage. All I can say is in the Midvaal, we are investigating one tender. And in the Eastern Cape, we are also investigating one tender. Therefore, when we look into the documentation, we'll be able to see what the amounts are, and we'll also be able to see whether it followed processes. Because what is important for us, like I always say, Heidi, we look at processes, and the processes will give us information and will tell us who are the people who did anything wrong. The proclamation that is before us is very clear. It says that once we have found fault, we must then check who are the people who did what at what point. Therefore, that is where we are at the present moment. And we cannot divulge much because we are at a stage where we're only going to take letters of engagement to the Eastern Cape Department of Health and to Midvaal, so that they then know what is it that we're going to be dealing with, and then the scope is still being determined. In the next few days or few weeks, we'll be able to know what the scope is going to be.
Do you expect this process to take a while? Do you think investigations are going to take some time, given you have one in the Midvaal and one in the Eastern Cape? And the reason why I ask this is because people on the ground are always impacted by the lack of service delivery or possibility of maladministration because they don't get the full services that they are entitled to. So how long is this process going to take, do you foresee?
No, it will not take a long time, especially because when it is allocated per province like that, this one, the Midvaal one, is handled by the Gauteng team, and then the one in the Eastern Cape is handled by the Eastern Cape team. Therefore, it will not take time. And this one of the Eastern Cape Health also, it is the same kind of investigation that we are already doing in Limpopo, for example. There was a proclamation for Limpopo about 2-3 months ago. Therefore, they've already started. Therefore, the operation of how they're going to deal with it are already set by a team in Limpopo. They can then work with them so that they're able to then learn from each other quickly and move. But I don't think it will take too long.
Okay, just lastly, Mr. Kganyago, I'm putting you on the spot here, but is there any updates with regards to investigations into Digital Vibes?
Yes, what is happening at the present moment with the Digital Vibes is that we have basically concluded some of the investigations that were happening, and we are now before the special tribunal where we want to set aside the contract. That process is underway as we speak. We have now, the only thing that will delay us is the fact that the parties that were joined, you remember there was a joinder where we joined companies and individuals. That part is, they have now appealed that part, and then we are going to then wait for the appeal of that part of the matter before the tribunal, and then we go to the issue that relates to the setting aside. And once we have set aside the contract, we will now be in a position to look into the recovery of the money, because now we know where the money has gone to.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your insights. We do appreciate it. That was SIU spokesperson Isaac Anyago.